Coming up on Juice and Java, we have a political special just for you.
Joining us will be the Student Association candidates for a debate.
We'll also have for you the juiciest and hottest news in the squeeze and the brew.
So sit back and relax because Juice and Java starts right now.
Good morning, Syracuse, and welcome to Juice and Java. I'm Maddy Stessman.
And I'm Rebecca Thornburg. Let's get started with the squeeze.
The beloved singing competition show American Idol has come to an end. Trent Harmon is the 15th and final winner. Idol had been the #1 show for 8 seasons, although it has seen a steady decline in ratings over the past few years. The decision to cancel the show was an emotional one for Fox. Some of Idol's most notable winners are Carrie Underwood and Kelly Clarkson. The final show was a tribute to past winners and to judges.
This was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Me and my family sat on the couch, watched every episode, was cheering on each candidate. Absolutely love it. So sad to see it end.
I think many people can relate to that, but also, have you been watching it in recent years?
I haven't, just because I've been so busy and just other shows have popped up that are better, so I just haven't kept up with it.
Which I think is why it's ending, because I can say the same thing. It's one of the best shows, but I just don't watch it that much anymore. So,
and just the what it created too,
and the talent that it's brought,
and even the other shows, the singing shows. There's been so many, like The Voice and a few others that have come up because of American Idol. I feel like it all started.
Yeah, American Idol was the original, and you know, I still love it, and I think it's going to have a special place in all our hearts. I feel like.
And I feel like even there hasn't been that many successful winners. There have been pretty successful, but like Carrie Underwood has been like the main one.
Well, she's my girl. I mean, and Kelly Clarkson, we said as well.
Well, so I thought it was a great ending show, but we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, I know. I guess there's room for a new.
And in other news, on Friday, Pope Francis released a 256-page document called The Joy of Life, stating a broad proclamation on family life. The document signaled for priests to welcome single parents, gay people, and unmarried straight couples who are living together. He wrote, "A pastor cannot feel that it is enough to simply apply moral laws to those living in irregular situations. The Pope says he does not believe in same-sex marriage because it cannot be seen as the equivalent of heterosexual unions." How do you feel about this, Maddy?
Well, this is a huge thing for a Pope, like the leader of the Catholic community, to be as forward-thinking as he is with this.
Right, and he's kind of just coming up with the times, too. Views are changing, people are being more progressive, and just like, okay, like, let's accept them, and I think he's really channeling.
Right, I mean, I really would like, I haven't taken a look at this document, but I mean, what, 200-some pages, I believe you said, like, that's a lot, and I'm very interested to see kind of what the reaction to it is. I have heard a lot of people thinking positively of this Pope, and, you know, all the progressive.
There could be some uproar, though. Some people are conservatives could definitely be like, I don't like this. Why are you saying this? So
this is a huge step for the Catholic Church. So I'm very interested to see what ends up happening with this, and maybe he'll do other more progressive things coming up.
We'll see.
Yeah. And on Friday, Bruce Springsteen announced that he was canceling a concert in North Carolina this weekend in protest of a new law attacking gay and transgender rights. Springsteen is on tour with the E Street Band, and they were scheduled to play at the Greenboro Coliseum on Sunday. The law passed last month. The law that was passed last month bars transgender people from using public bathrooms that do not match their sex at birth. The legislation has been widely condemned, and top executives at Starbucks, Facebook, Apple, and Citibank have all signed a public letter asking Governor Pat McCrory to repeal it. So this is very similar to what we just saw with the Pope.
Yes, very controversial too.
Yes, very controversial. Leaders stepping out and advocating for something that they believe in and being more progressive, I would say.
Yes. And even Andrew Cuomo this week did ban no travel to North Carolina and Mississippi because of these laws banning people who believe they are one gender into going to certain bathrooms. So I think a lot of people are taking a stand against this, and I think it's great.
Well, and I'm interested to see with such, widely known people like Bruce Springsteen or Cuomo, obviously, if this is going to lead to a change in the law, because we haven't quite seen that yet, and that's obviously what they're believing in and what they think it should be changed.
Right,
so.
And we hope that morals and the society can change for the better.
Yeah, I will wait and see, I guess.
And advocates to stop texting and driving are hoping that a new bill pushes its way through New York State lawmakers. Evans Law, as the bill is called, would allow police to hold distracted drivers accountable. Investigators could use new technology called textualizers to see if a driver was on their phone at the time of a crash. The scanning device would only look at usage and not invade any privacy in the content of text, calls, or pictures. If the law passes, New York would be the first state to enact this kind of technology.
Well, I mean, I think in theory this is great that they're doing this. Neither of us text and drive, as you guys shouldn't.
Exactly. I just can't multitask like that. Yeah. No way. It's too scary, too dangerous.
I always have my sister as my designated texter.
Same,
yeah.
Same.
But I'm interested to see how this app works and whether it's just tracking, all right, are you receiving a text message at that time? Because I could have it in my passenger seat and be getting a text and not be on my phone.
Or even if the text is open, that should be a red flag. But if sometimes driving, you hear the vibration, you feel the vibration, and you're just like, oh, but you don't necessarily touch it. So we'll see how.
I think this is a great step because I do think that texting and driving is a major issue, and I know people that have been affected by it, and you know,
safety is the most important thing here too.
Exactly, and you know, when you're driving, just even listening to the radio, people get distracted. If you're looking down on your phone,
can't do it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Democratic presidential candidate will host a Future to Believe event at University of Buffalo on Monday, April 11th. He announced this event in response to Hillary Clinton visiting Syracuse, Albany, and Rochester last week. Sanders currently trails Clinton for the Democratic nomination by several hundred delegates. The Buffalo event is Sanders' first event in upstate New York for his campaign. The rally is free and open to the public. Doors open at 4 p.m. and the event begins at 7 p.m. in the Alumni Arena.
Very cool that he's going to Buffalo because I know Hillary Clinton came here the other week.
I was going to say, I think Rebecca got a selfie with
I did. I made eye contact with her. I shook her hand. I was just like so starstruck, and it was really awesome.
And I think that her coming here to Syracuse was something that rallied a lot of the youth here, and people were really excited. So obviously, I think it's smart that Bernie Sanders
he's coming on Tuesday, too. So it's right after the weekend. Maybe some kids can drive down to Buffalo, see what's going on. I know Kasich is also coming, too, John Kasich.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, and Hillary Clinton, you know, she has a big backing in New York State. She represented them for a while. So I think it is important that Bernie's coming out here. And
oh, definitely, because she did her campaigning last week. Now he needs to try and rally some of those delegates. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Well, maybe you can get up there and get another selfie.
I know, that would be amazing. Or even like Trump, too. I know he'll be coming in. So if I could just meet everyone. That'd be crazy, and that'd be awesome.
Well, after the break, Juice and Java reporter Candace Higgins will introduce us to the SA Comptroller candidates.
And then we'll have an interview with one of the SA presidential pairs live in studio.
Stay with us.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. Now she's holding on for dear life.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Well, have you ever wondered what a comptroller is, even what he or she does? Well, wait no longer because Juice and Java reporter Candace Higgins explains it all to us.
The election season is among us, but most students don't even know when or who we're running. I was in Shine earlier today and I talked to a few students. Take a look. Do you know who's running for presidency for SA?
I know Eric and Joyce is running.
Do you know who's running for comptroller?
No idea.
Do you guys know when the elections are?
Like April 11th.
Yeah. Do you know who's running for presidency, or do you know anything about the campus elections?
I actually do not.
Do you know who's running, when they are?
No idea.
Do you care?
Not really.
But the students should care. The comptroller controls the money that goes to the various organizations on campus. I got to speak with the 3 candidates who hope to replace Phil Kramer in this upcoming election. Here's what they had to say.
My platform it consists of 3 pillars: communication, connection, and change.
So my platform is 3 different components a part of it. So it's student innovation, student engagement, and student awareness.
So it's about, again, enabling organizations and creating a culture on campus that everyone will enjoy.
All of the candidates are eager to hear your voice. Reach out to them before you cast your vote, which will run from April 11th to the 14th via MySlice. You stay classy, Syracuse.
Only 8% of students on campus practice their right to vote in the SA elections. There are about 14,000 students. You do the math. The polls will open tomorrow on MySlice. Best of luck to all the candidates.
Thanks for that, Candace. Now I'm moving into the studio. We have SA candidates Eric Evangelista and Joyce Ladone here. Thanks for joining us, guys. So, what are you most excited about this election, and what policies do you want to see changed this year if you are elected?
Well, I think we're really excited to just be able to connect with as many students as possible. That's a huge part of our platform, which is Care for SU. CARE stands for Committed to Collaboration, Anti-Discriminatory, Ready for Reform, and Excited for Excellence. So we have a lot of things that are kind of encompassed in that, and collaboration is a big part of it, and we're just looking forward to being able to work with as many students as we're able to reach out to.
And how will you be able to do that? Because I know we have so many kids here on campus. How will you be able to, even individually, work with the students?
So far what we've mainly been doing is meeting with as many RSOs as possible, going around filling up our schedule with that. It's kind of, and also talking in our classes, just talking with our friends and making sure the word is spread across social media. But it's been really great engaging with those student organizations and hearing their perspective, their ideas, their critiques, and all the feedback is great.
Oh, that's awesome. So how do you think your leadership will be able to enact all the things you want to do, and how do you think you will bring the best to Syracuse campus?
Well, I'm the longest serving member of the Student Association. There is no one on this campus who has more experience with SA than I do. So I really understand how the organization works, how the bureaucracy of the university works, and I'm going to be able to get in there, get into the office if elected, and be able to start making some meaningful, impactful changes because I know the proper channels to go through. And Joyce has a very distinguished career outside of SA. She hasn't been part of it yet. Hopefully she will be soon, and she's going to be able to bring that outsider perspective that a lot of people want to make sure that their voices are represented, and she's going to be able to bring that outsider perspective in the way she does things so that she's able to connect with the people that she knows to get things done.
Wow, sounds awesome. And also, I know there's a few policies that students are a little weary about. For me personally, one of them is the snow day policy. What is your opinion on that? Because I know it has been crazy. We have never had a snow day here at Syracuse. I know we've had a mild winter, but any thoughts on that?
Well, actually, it's interesting that you bring that up. The Student Association for quite some time has been trying to work with the administration to push through a policy that would change. Right now, the policy is, I believe, it has to snow 12 inches per hour for at least 3 hours in order for it to qualify as a snow day. That's kind of
and like 6 a.m. to like 8 a.m. too.
Something. It's like the hours are bizarre. The whole policy itself is a little confusing, but more so than that, we've all gotten those really heinous emails where they say, you might get frostbite, it is that cold outside. So we're actually going to continue hopefully working on a policy with the university that would take into account the temperature as well as the actual snowfall, because when you receive an email saying that it's life-threatening to go outside, maybe that's a good indication that maybe you shouldn't.
Very cool. And as of tonight, is the voting opens. How excited are you guys?
Very.
Yep.
You can see the finish line, right?
Yep, yep.
And hopefully we'll come out winning.
Yeah, let's go. Well, good luck to both of you, and
thank you.
Hopefully we'll see what happens. in the next few days. And when we come back, Maddy will have your latest hot list of things to do with the Brew. And another pair of SA candidates will be back in studio to talk about their campaigns. Stick with us.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Huntington!
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, Billy, I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed that short break. Maddy is over at the Plasma to keep us up to date on the latest and hottest things to do in the 315.
Well, need something to do this week? On Monday, you can go see Trump Mania, a collection of artwork responding to Donald Trump and his presidential campaign. The event takes place on Monday, April 11th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Westcott Theater. The event is free and open to the public. On Tuesday, Dancing in the Streets comes to the stage at the On Center Krause-Heinz Theater at 7:30. The production features songs from Motown Records. Headliners. Tickets range from $60 to $70 and can be found on Ticketmaster. On Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can see the Christians at the Syracuse stage. Tickets range from $18 to $50. Group discounts will apply. And this Saturday, Sky Armory is holding a night market with over 40 local retailers, designers, and artists selling clothing, jewelry, and accessories. Admission is $5 and all attendees receive a cocktail to sip on while they shop. Also on Saturday, there is the Salt City Horror Fest taking place at the Palace Theater. Doors will open at 11 a.m. and the first film screening begins at noon. Tickets are $25 at the door and $21 in advance. The Vault Carousel Center will host an Essence of Art Spring Fashion Show. Local designers, African dancers, music, art, and free giveaways will be featured. Tickets to this event are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. You can celebrate Earth Day at the Rosamund Gifford Zoo's Party for the Planet. The party takes place on April 16th from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and is free with admission. Dancing with Our Stars, Central New York's local Dancing with Our Stars competition, returns on April 16th. 15 community leaders are paired with dance experts to perform and raise money to reopen the Barnes-Hiscock Mansion. The competition began in 2008 and draws between 300 to 400 people each year. This event is from 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. and tickets are $125. Well, now I'm joined in studio with Alex and Miko. We had two of the other SA candidates cancel on us. So now this leads us to a little presidential debate, I guess, Alex.
Talk about the election. Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk about the elections. Well, things are really heating up for Central New York in terms of the election. We had Hillary Clinton come last week, and now I understand Bernie and Trump are both coming.
Right. New York is a big state. New York is one of the most important primaries in quite a while. Wisconsin, it was pretty clear for a while that that Cruz was going to win for the Republicans and Bernie was going to win for the Democrats. In this case, it still is a pretty big lead. Trump's leading. He has a majority of the vote right now. He's winning quite a bit. It is his home state.
Yeah.
It's big for Bernie, though, because Bernie's from Brooklyn. Hillary represented New York in the Senate. So it's big for both of them.
They both have ties here. Yeah.
Right. So it would be a bit of a blow for either of them to lose. Hillary right now is winning by about 12, but Bernie has said he's been closing the gap.
And do you think her visiting central New York and Syracuse and a few other cities,
ordering food from Varsity?
Yeah. Do you think that possibly helped her campaign?
Well, it's certainly possible. Upstate New York tends to be more conservative, more moderate than New York City does. So that would be where a lot of her vote is coming from. She gets some from New York. Obviously, Bernie has been hitting her on her ties to Wall Street, so she gets some of the vote from there. But upstate New York would tend to be, you would expect, for those that are Democrats in upstate New York, more Clinton Democrats than Sanders Democrats.
And this is taking place next Wednesday, I believe.
Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, April 19th.
Okay, and so from there, what happens? Is this a big, you said,
New York,
this could decide a lot.
New York is a big state. For Donald Trump right now, he's trying to get as many delegates as possible because he and his campaign understand that he pretty much needs to win the nomination on the first ballot of the convention. If it goes to a contested convention, it's going to be very difficult because what gets lost in the conversation is that it's not exactly about votes, it's about delegates, and these delegates are people. And many of these delegates that are selected, the way they're selected, they're party insiders who have paid their dues to the party, the local party, for many years. And those people tend not to be for Donald Trump. So it's going to be very hard.
So they could change at that point? Okay.
Different states have different rules, but there are a lot of delegates that are unbound, and were nobody to get the majority 1237 on the first ballot, then there would be a lot of negotiations, a lot of deals, and some are floating the idea that they could have sort of the white knight, in this case House Speaker Paul Ryan, come in as a consensus choice if no one from Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, and John Kasich. Now, it's been a long time since we've had a brokered convention where we get a nominee who didn't even participate in the primaries. The last time we had a convention like what we're looking at, where we don't know the nominee when it goes in, was 1976 when Ford held off Reagan. It's been quite a while. It's been quite a while, and it's going to be very exciting.
Now, in your opinion, do you think that these clear winners are not going to be clear winners as it gets closer between Hillary and Trump?
I think that the Republican convention will go to an open convention. I don't think Trump will get to 1237 by the time the convention rolls around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether he'll be able to get to convince enough delegates before the first ballot. It's certainly possible, but I think that Ted Cruz would have the advantage at an open convention. I don't think that they'll go with an outside candidate. I think that's too dangerous for them. And in terms of the Democrats, I think Hillary Clinton will end up getting a majority.
Yeah.
The problem for her is a lot of those are super delegates, and Bernie Sanders uses that as a sort of a talking point about it's an undemocratic process. So it's definitely a dicey situation for both.
Yes. Well, Alex, thank you so much for giving us all your opinions. And now we no longer have a debate since two of our candidates didn't show up, but Rebecca will help us get to know our other two candidates that did come in today. So, Rebecca, thank you, and we will see you after the break.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
BEDSIDER.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Well, we saved the best for last.
That's right, Maddie. Alex Amico is ready to lead the debate with a few of SA's candidates. Alex?
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm here with Eric Evangelista and Joyce Alonso. We're going to get to know them a little better with some questions. So my first question for you, what is one thing that you would change about Syracuse right now?
Well, for me, I think the thing that I would definitely try to focus on as we would serve out our tenure if elected is improving the safety and security of the students on campus. We're working with some really amazing student leaders to implement some actual concrete change that will not only prevent crime, but will also help alleviate some of the crime that's been happening in terms of off-campus break-ins, in terms of robberies, all of the crimes that we've been seeing. We're working with students to implement cameras around the off-campus community. That's a joint effort between the university administration, between Syracuse Police, between SDPS, and with Mayor Stephanie Miner's office. So it's something that we're really excited to work with those students to help further, something that we hope, if elected, we'll certainly be able to kick in some financial resources for, and we're really looking forward to hopefully working on that.
Awesome.
Yeah, mine, so Eric and I, how our campaign is set up, we kind of have different focuses but come together with all of them. So my answer would be making sure that the access to resources on campus is readily available. And the way that we're looking at that is through the first year forum. So making sure that resources are coming to this one university-wide first year forum, and later in the week breaking it down into a dialogue type setting, so you're also getting to know your fellow students better.
And as it stands right now, what do you think the best thing about Syracuse is?
You go.
Okay. I think there are a ton of great things about Syracuse. It's one of the reasons I think we all chose this school.
Right.
For me personally, as a member of the, recently became a member of University 100, I really love to see the engagement of the students with incoming students, with prospective students, and with the first year students. I think that that's one of the things we do really well is we make the new students feel at home, and I hope that we'll be able to continue doing that well.
So my favorite thing is varsity. There's this one booth in it. My family we have a 60-year legacy here.
Right.
So there's one booth where we always have to sit in. So that always brings back memories. It makes you feel connected to the alumni network.
So now, sort of a more fun question. If you could have dinner with one person, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, yours is good.
Okay. To be completely honest, I would really, really like to have like a wine night with Jennifer Lawrence. I think that would be pretty great, and I'd love to hear the stuff that comes out of her mouth. So I'm gonna maybe not the most dignified answer, but I'm very happy with having a wine night.
I don't think anyone would blame you for that.
I'll hop onto that one, but then mine's a little more serious. But I would want to have dinner with my mom one more time.
And so, if you could only, speaking of dinner, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
French fries.
French fries.
Yep.
Raspberries.
Wow, those are pretty small foods to eat for the rest of your life.
That's nutrition value. We got to rethink that.
I guess our last question probably would be this: what is the one thing that you've done that you're most proud of?
So I'll go. My freshman year here, I got really involved with a nonprofit student organization called Nurse International, and so that first year I led a project to rural Uganda with 14 other Syracuse students, and so seeing that happen and then fulfilling that every single year after has been great.
And I would have to say for me, I honestly think it's just this campaign. I've been a member of the Student Association since my first week of freshman year. I've served consecutively since then as a member. I've really put in my time with this organization, and I think with this campaign we're trying to show that being an SA, being a member of the student government is really important, and it's definitely important to have the ability to lead. So just really thankful for that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Back to you.
Thank you.
And that's all we have for today's show. Thanks for joining in.
And despite not having two of our candidates show up today, we had a good time here. Yeah, and if you want to follow us for even more content, make sure to give us a like on Facebook and a double tap on Instagram.
We'll see you next week.
Produced in Java, I'm Maddy Stessman.
And I'm Rebecca Thornburg. Have a great week, Syracuse.